During the 2008 financial crisis, the stock market fell 37%. Yet one man, hedge fund manager Larry Benedict, posted 23% gains. He delivered $95 million in pure profit to his clients. In the first half of 2022, he did it again. During the worst market in 50 years, those following his work saw double and triple-digit growth. What's his secret? As you'll discover, Larry doesn't invest the traditional way. His approach has nothing to do with buy and hold, and it flies in the face of everything a financial planner would ever tell you. In today's interview, he's agreed to come forward and reveal his unique method, including the name of the ticker symbol you need to get started. Larry Benedict, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, Larry, you're one of the few dozen people in the entire world to earn the label Market Wizard. I know you don't like to brag, but in fact, a whole chapter was written about you in the best-selling series Market Wizards. We actually have the book right there. There you are, right after billionaire Ray Dalio. But from what I understand, your approach is different than Dalio, Paul Tudor Jones, or any other wizard.
That's right. It's unlike anything you've probably ever seen. I call it the one-ticker retirement plan. But put simply, it's designed to help you make all the money you need in any market using just one ticker.
Okay, now Larry, I'm sure those watching at home are thinking, really? Just one ticker? That's impossible.
I know. I don't blame you for being skeptical, but I've been using this strategy for years, decades even. As a hedge fund manager, it's helped me deliver millions to my clients year after year in all market conditions, and I continue to use it today.
Well, I've heard about your historic run on Wall Street. From 1990 to 2010, you were perfect. During a period that included both the 2000 and 2008 crashes, you never had a single losing year. In fact, you did so well that your firm Banyan Capital made Barron's list of most successful hedge funds. You can see it on your screen, folks. Larry's hedge fund was ranked 36th in the entire world. Considering there are over 10,000 hedge funds, that puts it in the top 1%. That's so impressive. But all that said, Larry, you're a legit market wizard. What about folks, well, like me, who don't have a 6 or 7-figure bankroll? Is this something we can do too?
Yes, that's why I'm here today, Kim. You don't need to be a hedge fund manager to use this approach. Everyday folks can do this too.
I like hearing that. And you brought some examples with you. These are everyday people who are using different versions of your one-ticker blueprint. We have a few on the screen. Chris N says, I made $12K within 3 hours. I get the feeling that Larry's strategy is the only thing I will need to retire comfortably. Thanks, Larry, for taking the decision to help common people. Rod R says, over 800%. That's my biggest 24-hour trade I've had in over 20 years. Thanks, Larry. Those are some of the biggest short-term gains I've ever seen, Larry. Obviously, everyone's experience will be different, but there are many more stories just like these.
These people aren't market wizards, Kim. As you will see, I have designed this strategy for everyone. You don't need a big nest egg to get started.
And this is true even in today's crazy market. You're not worried? There's no chance your luck is going to start running out?
One good trade is luck, Kim. Decades of proven success in good and bad markets. That's not luck. During 2008, I had one of my best years of my life. During the pandemic, I made $2 million in a single month. And this year, my one-ticker traders are crushing it in the market.
Wow, well, I'm excited to get to the bottom of this, Larry. If this approach is everything you claim it to be, this could be a game changer for anybody at or near retirement. We're talking about a recession-proof strategy designed for everyone that's proven to work in bull and bear markets, which you believe could give folks all the money they need for a comfortable retirement. Folks, Larry's agreed to give you the full story. While most folks are losing money, those following his work have had the chance to make money almost every week. He'll reveal exactly how his strategy works. He'll lay out his track record. He'll reveal the ticker you can start using right now, and you've even agreed to perform an over-the-shoulder demonstration a little later. Isn't that right?
That's right. I've got my phone with me, and I will show you how to use my method right here on camera. It only takes a few seconds. You could start making money as early as today.
Well, great news. And is your ticker a name our viewers will recognize?
I think most people will be surprised, Kim.
Well, I should also mention, Larry's also agreed to give us his latest forecast. At the beginning of 2022, Larry told a reporter all the indexes will be negative for the year. That prediction was spot on. What's more, he's one of the few people to call the 2020 crash. He warned about it a month in advance and showed everyday folks how to profit. But now he has an even bigger and more important forecast. He's sharing it here for the first time. You'll get it a little later in the program. And on that note, let's get right into your one ticker strategy. Larry, how does it work and how did you discover it?
Well, it's funny. I discovered it by getting fired.
Wait a minute, getting fired?
Yes, you see, I've been a professional trader for more than 30 years. I've had a great career on Wall Street, but I got off to a rocky start. In my first 2 years, I got fired more times than I could count.
Seriously, you? I mean, given where you ended up, that's really surprising to hear.
Yeah, it's funny to look back on it, but at the time it was very upsetting. I would get hired, start trading, lose money over and over again. No matter what I did, nothing worked.
So then what changed?
Well, eventually I realized what I was missing. It was specialization. I was trying to trade everything, the latest hot stock, the latest trading fad. I was like a chicken with my head cut off.
So you decided to focus on just one thing?
Exactly. That became my new approach. Forgetting about 99% of all stocks, forgetting about the latest fad, finding one thing and sticking to it.
Okay, one thing, stick to it. It doesn't really get much more specialized than that.
It doesn't, and it changed everything for me. Before long, I was making $1,000 a day, then $10,000 in a day, then 100, and so on and so on.
Wow, that's fascinating. So I take it that specialization is the first component of your strategy.
Yes, my strategy boils down to 2 rules. Number 1, diversification is for dummies.
Okay, now wait a minute. I got to push back just a little bit on that, Larry. I've done some research on this, and you look at any mainstream source, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, the financial section of the New York Times, they all preach diversification. It's one of the oldest mantras in finance.
Well, let me ask you, how is that working out for everybody?
Well, yeah, I've looked at my 401k lately, and fair point, it really doesn't look all that good.
Look at the results of diversification.
Oh my goodness. As much as $3 trillion in retirement savings has been wiped out this year.
3 trillion, Kim. That's a 3 followed by 12 zeros.
And all the major 401k plans have seen losses this year?
Every single one. I think about all these poor people. They did everything right. They worked hard, saved, diversified, and now their savings is starting to disappear. This is happening all across America.
It's really so sad. We can see it on the screen there. 25% of Americans now say they'll have to delay retirement.
We're talking millions of people. And you know why? The diversification model. It is crushing people. That's why I'm coming forward today. There is a better way.
But let me ask you, is it fair to judge the system during a market like this? These are pretty unusual times. Historically speaking, the traditional retirement method has worked pretty well, right?
No, that's one of the biggest myths out there. Just look at the numbers.
Okay, we're looking at the S&P 500's long-term performance. This century, it's delivered around 7% per year. So at this rate, it would take you, 36 years to turn $100,000 into $1 million retirement? Is that true? Wait a minute, 36 years?
Yes, and that doesn't even account for inflation. If you factor that in, it's probably about 50 years.
Oh my goodness, half a century?
Maybe that works if you're in your 20s, but if you're near retirement age, no way. Compare that to my strategy. As you will see, it is possible to make decades worth of gains in a matter of days.
Wow, I had no idea it took so long, Larry. No wonder we're in a retirement crisis.
I was lucky. I realized this as a young trader. You see, Wall Street figured this out a long time ago. At a big Wall Street firm, they would never tell you to trade everything. It was all about specialization. Get this, when I was at Spear, Leeds and Kellogg, I specialized in a single index, the XMI.
So all you did was trade that index?
Yes, all day, every day. It was my entire focus.
Wow, Spear Leeds was one of the most successful trading firms in the world, Larry, and you were one of their top guys. Is it common to have such a narrow focus?
Yes, on Wall Street it is. Everyone is a specialist. You have foreign currency traders, equity traders, oil traders, you even have grain traders.
And let me ask, why do they do it that way?
Think about it. When you only trade one asset, you get to know it really well. You start to understand how it moves, you detect patterns. Most importantly, you figure out how to make money from it in all markets. The proof is in the chart, Kim.
And we're looking at a chart of Wall Street trading revenue. Wow. Wall Street's making tens of billions of dollars from trading every year. Is this how they make so much money in good markets and bad?
Yes, it is so important. Please remember this. As a trader, there are no bad markets. Billions of dollars are up for grabs every year, even years like this.
Well, forget about billions. If I could just grab a few $1,000s a month from that $50 billion pile, I'd be more than happy.
You can. With a targeted trading strategy, that's 100% possible. You don't need to put off retirement. You don't have to wait for the next raging bull market. You can make money in any market.
Okay, you got me excited here. Well, I suppose you would know too, Larry, because during your time at Spear, Leeds, and Kellogg, you went an entire decade without a single losing year. Partway through your tenure, the company opened up a new trading department. They put you in charge and named you special limited partner. Eventually, you and your colleagues were making the firm so much money that the company was bought out by Goldman Sachs. Clearly, this focused approach really has worked for you and your Wall Street colleagues. But what about others, Larry? Is anybody else using this type of approach?
Yes, it's not just Wall Street. Many of the best investors use a targeted approach. Take Warren Buffett.
Really? I thought his firm, Berkshire Hathaway, was diversified across a wide range of businesses.
Read this quote from Buffett, Kim. It's shocking.
It says, if it's your game, diversification doesn't make sense. It's crazy to put money into your 20th choice rather than your first choice. It's the LeBron James analogy. If you have basketball phenom LeBron James on your team, don't take him out of the game just to make room for someone else. Wow, I had no idea Buffett felt that way.
And here's another one.
He says diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you're doing. And does he practice what he preaches?
Absolutely. Around 2/3 of Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio is invested in just 4 stocks. You see this over and over, Kim. Look at the bond king, Bill Gross. He became a billionaire just by trading bonds. Or even Peter Thiel, who made over $1 billion in one stock, Facebook. There are so many examples of this. That's why my first rule is focus on one ticker.
Well, now I know you're going to discuss the name of that ticker in a moment, but first, tell us about rule number 2.
Well, rule number 2 is use options.
Now, Larry, okay, you know, the mention of that word sends a chill down a lot of people's spines.
I know. Most people have been told you are not cut out to trade options.
Right.
Leave it to the professionals, but I would say that that isn't true.
You think that's garbage?
Yes. Listen, I've been trading options since the 80s. I got my start in the trading pits of the CBOE. It's the largest U.S. options exchange, and I've been trading options ever since. Here's what I can tell you. Options are a dream come true for everyday folks, especially in a crazy market environment.
And why is that?
Because options work whether stocks go up or down. All it takes is a small move in the stock in either direction to potentially see huge gains.
Really? That's all it takes, just a small move?
Yes, on November 1st. I recommended an option trade. Over the next month, the underlying stock soared as high as 18%.
In a month? I mean, that's not a small move, Larry. That's a big one.
It is, but guess what? The option delivered a 300% gain in just 4 days. In other words, my readers had the chance to make 16 times more money in a fraction of the time.
Now, is that an extreme example?
No, not at all. Look at a trade I issued. This time, the underlying stock fell 5%.
And what did your option recommendation deliver on that one?
Well, on that one, we made 120% in just 9 days. That's the power of options. They have created a multiplier effect.
So in other words, an option can take a small move in either direction and multiply it by 5 times, 10 times, even 20 times or more, you can potentially make hundreds, thousands, and in your case, millions of dollars very quickly.
That's right. And with my one ticker retirement plan, I've made it as easy as possible. All you have to do is focus on one ticker.
So then you can forget about all the different market sectors. You can ignore earnings reports, Fed announcements, those talking heads on CNBC. The only thing you have to pay attention to is one ticker.
Exactly. Like I said, I've been using options and other supposedly complex trading tools for decades. They have helped me see massive returns.
Wow, 286%, 327%, even 703% in a matter of days.
Those type of gains are almost impossible to get any other way. That's why when I launched my hedge fund, I built it around options. It made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, I'll say, like I said before, Larry's fund was ranked in the top 1% in the entire world. His performance was so good that he developed an international following. Your clients included the Royal Bank of Canada, the Bank of New York, and even the Saudi National Commercial Bank, among others.
Yeah, at the peak, I was managing about $800 million.
And yet you walked away from your hedge fund and shifted to helping everyday folks. Why?
Look, I was glad I was able to make money for these folks, but a few years ago, my mission changed. I got tired of helping the banks, the richest people in the world, and all I wanted to do was help everyday folks, real people who needed the help the most. So I started sharing my secrets with them. It's worked out great so far.
I'll say. Let's go through that, Larry. I want our viewers to see how it's working with real, everyday people just like them. Now, with your strategy, it's not the exact same ticker over and over again, year after year, is it?
No, what I do is focus on one ticker at a time. That's the secret. Here's how it works. I zero in on a ticker. I use it for a period of time, a month or two, maybe even more. Then when conditions change, I shift to a different one.
Okay, and can you give us some examples? We want to see this in action.
Sure, I zeroed in on ticker QQQ.
Isn't that the NASDAQ?
Right, it's a fund that tracks the NASDAQ. This is one of my favorite trading tickers. I've been recommending it for years, including this one.
That's surprising. The NASDAQ's been awful. Didn't it have its worst first half of the year ever?
It did, and for most people, it's been a disaster. But that's where my strategy comes in. In January, I recommended a QQQ trade 4 times. Each time, it was a winner.
Wow, you delivered gains like 31% in 24 hours, 106% in 3 days, 50% in 2 days, and more. So let me get this straight. During a tech meltdown, you used a fund that tracks the NASDAQ to deliver gains as high as 106% in 3 days. Your readers had the chance to more than double their money.
Isn't it great, Kim? Had I followed the so-called retirement experts, my readers would have seen double-digit losses. Instead, they could have made $5,000 or $10,000 from a fairly modest investment. Let me show you another example. I saw an opportunity in ticker MARA, MARA.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
It's a cryptocurrency miner. It's one of the few public companies that mines Bitcoin.
Larry, crypto's been all over the place. Earlier this year, people were saying that it was going through a Lehman Brothers moment. In this market, you were able to make money from a crypto play?
I recommended MARA 3 times. Once again, each one was a winner. You could have made as much as 98% in a month.
Another doubler. So none of those macroeconomic headwinds mattered, right? As crypto crashed, you kept making money from it? Your readers had the chance to make hundreds, thousands of dollars over and over again?
That's right. None of it mattered, Kim. Remember, we're not investing the usual way. This isn't a buy and hold strategy. We don't have to ride out bear markets. We're making money now, even when the market falls.
And is this kind of performance normal? I mean, you must miss some trades, right?
Of course, no strategy is foolproof, including mine. But with a targeted approach, your win rate can skyrocket.
We can see some examples on the screen. You've gone 3 for 3 with AAPL, 4 for 5 with ARKK, 4 for 4 with VLO, and more. And you've seen gains like 79% in 3 days, 61% in 2 days, 120% in 11 days, and on and on and on.
Well, let me put these gains in perspective for you. Look at the 120% winner. Do you know how long it would take to make that following the market?
I'm guessing a pretty long time. How long?
Well, more than a decade for sure.
Wow, and your readers had a chance to do that in just 11 days.
Yeah, imagine how that impacts your life, Kim.
Right. I'm thinking about all of those people delaying retirement right now. This would be life-changing for them. Instead of pushing the date farther back, they could actually move it forward. But what about the workload? How much time does this really take?
Well, that's the best part, Kim. With this method, you get to enjoy your life. We're talking about a few trades a month. That's it. You get in, get your money, and get out.
In and out. So this is something folks could do part-time?
Absolutely. Listen, we only live once. No one should be a slave to Fed announcements, to so-called breaking news on CNBC. You should be able to travel, spend time with your family. Again, with my approach, all of this can be possible. Just focusing on one ticker.
So as long as you're up to speed on that ticker, you can forget about everything else. I love it.
Exactly. You see why I'm so passionate about this approach, Kim?
I am. I do. Yeah.
Listen, we're not breaking new ground here. Elite Wall Street traders have been using this approach for years to make billions. We are simply taking a page out of the same playbook.
So why haven't I heard about this before?
Think about it, Kim. If CNBC only talked about one stock, what would happen to their ratings? Can you imagine them saying, look, the truth is you can ignore 99% of all stocks?
No, I can't. Fair point. Their whole business model is getting you worked up about every little thing.
Exactly. They could never promote a simple approach like this. They go bankrupt. Same with Fidelity, E-Trade, and Robinhood, and all the rest. They want you trading everything. That's how they make money. That's why this approach remains a secret.
I just can't believe that you're able to deliver in this market. I know I keep harping on that, but it seems too good to be true. I mean, I've seen people calling this a lost year. But according to your results, your readers have had the chance to make money hand over fist.
I haven't even shown you the best results yet.
Really? There's more?
Listen to this. I have one high-end newsletter where we focus exclusively on one ticker.
One ticker the entire time?
The entire time. It's the only service of its kind as far as I know. Now, before I show you the results, please keep in mind, if you are just getting started, I don't recommend that you make this many trades.
So this is more advanced trading?
For sure. You probably want to start small and build up.
Okay.
That said, the win rates we have seen through this service are unbelievable.
Okay, well, this I need to see.
Jump back to May. As you may recall, May was awful.
Right. The Fed hiked interest rates, the crypto market crashed, and the stock market was all over the place.
Yeah, at one point the S&P was down 6%. Most folks didn't make a cent. But guess what? The first week of the month, I recommended a single ticker over and over, and we went 9 for 9.
So every single trade was a winner?
Every one. You could have doubled your money 9 separate times.
Wow, I'm trying to imagine that, Larry. Doubling my money 9 straight times in this market? Check my math here. A run like that turns a series of $1,000 trades into $9,000, or $10,000 trades into $90,000 in a week.
That's right. Isn't that pretty amazing?
It really is. And I'm thinking of the millions of folks who've seen nothing but red this year. In 1 week, they could have made up for all of those losses and then some. But tell me, was this a fluke?
I don't think so. Jump back to April.
Another terrible month.
That's right. From beginning to end, the S&P lost 9%, but not my readers. I showed them how to make money every single week.
Wait, anybody who followed your recommendations could have grown their wealth 33%? 33% growth, while the market lost 9%?
Think about what that means. Do that every month. That's 400% for the year.
And in a bear market, too.
Obviously, I'm not guaranteeing that, but you get the point. With this approach, no matter what's going on, it is possible to compound your wealth quickly.
So we're looking at a snapshot of some of your week-long win streaks. March, 11 for 12, a 92% win rate. February, 8 for 8. January, 6 for 8. December, 13 for 14. November, 6 for 7, and on, Of course, we all know the past doesn't equal the future, but wow, it's hard to argue with that kind of success.
This is the best way to make money in the market, Kim. Even if you only trade a few times a month, the money can add up fast. You could be looking at thousands of dollars every month with plenty of time to enjoy your life.
Well, that sure sounds better than managing dozens of stocks, shorting, trying to time the bottom, or really any other approach I hear people promoting right now.
It's so much better than that, Kim. That's why everyday folks are loving it. Look at these results.
And we have a few more examples. Todd wrote, this morning at 9:40 a.m., I am at Lowe's buying stuff to paint my house and check E-Trade on my phone while I'm in the store. I made over $7,000. I quickly closed out the positions in the store and smiled as I checked out. Thank you, Larry. After a recommendation, Polly said, well done, please keep them coming. You now have my attention and I am on the alert now for all of your recommendations. Thank you. Wow, those are amazing.
Again, these are not professionals, Kim. Anybody can get started right now, even if they have very little experience. It only takes a few seconds to place a trade. Here, let me show you.
Oh, all right. Let's see.
So I go to my brokerage account.
Okay.
And I'm looking for the most active option, which is the E-mini S&P.
Okay.
I hit my options montage.
All right.
And
only a couple clicks so far.
And I click in. And I press that, and I just placed a buy order that was executed.
Okay, really, just a few clicks, that's it, you're done.
Yes, it's simplistic.
So really, what was that, 10, 15 seconds? I mean, you weren't kidding, that is super fast.
That's all it takes, Kim. With that one maneuver, you are ready to go. As we head into a long-term down market, you are ready to make profits.
So is that your forecast? You believe we're headed for a serious rough patch?
Yes, I believe all indexes will be flat to negative for a long time. We've just come off of 10 years of plenty. Now we're looking at 5 years of potential famine.
And I know you've written a lot about inflation and interest rates. Earlier this year, you accurately predicted that the Fed would issue a series of rate hikes. Is that what you think is going to cause this prolonged bear market?
Yes, I think we're about to see a repeat of the 70s and early 80s, Kim.
Okay, what happened then?
Well, that was a terrible time for investors. It was very similar to what we're seeing today. Inflation was rampant, so the Fed issues a series of rate hikes to tamp down inflation. This combination created wild volatility.
We're looking at it on the chart there. Wow, you are right. Look at those violent swings. It's exactly like what we've seen so far this year, and it took years for the market to recover. You're predicting something similar?
That's right. I think we're about to see the same thing all over again. Those who aren't prepared could lose a lot of money.
And yet, you don't seem worried at all.
I've lived through times like this before. My one-ticker strategy is perfect for what is about to come.
So the big question, Larry, is which ticker are you recommending right now?
Okay, here it is. It's QQQ. This is one of my favorite tickers. I've used it before many times. It's perfect for today's trading environment. If you trade it today, you could potentially double your money in as little as 24 hours. But this is just the start. I plan to recommend it repeatedly over the next coming weeks. I believe you could have several opportunities to see huge gains in very little time.
Now, you've put together a special report to help everybody get started using this ticker. Isn't that right?
That's right. It's called the One Ticker Retirement Plan.
Now, just to be clear, this report is not available on your website or any other website like Amazon. The only way to get it is through today's special offer.
That's right.
So let's go through what's in the report.
First and foremost, I'll give you all the details on the ticker.
You had thousands to choose from. I assume you chose to start with this one for a specific reason.
Yes, it's my #1 pick for today's volatile market. I explain exactly why.
Can folks trade it in their existing brokerage account?
Yes, like you saw, it's just a few mouse clicks. I'll show you the exact process.
All right, sounds good. And from there, your report breaks down your one ticker retirement plan.
That's right. Remember, this isn't a one-time thing. The idea isn't to double your money once and call it good. I want to help people create a dream retirement where they can potentially make money all year long in all markets.
You're speaking my language here. The hardest part is finding the ticker, and you've already taken care of that for us. From there, it's just a matter of understanding how it moves, right?
Exactly. I'll explain how to use small moves to potentially make thousands of dollars over and over again.
I'm just glad that our viewers can get started immediately. You showed us some of the incredible winning streaks you've delivered this year. Anybody who put just $1,000 into your recommendations could have seen sums like $940, $790, $1,060, one after another in a matter of days. The chance to make that kind of money in this market is a lifesaver.
Kim, those days of helplessly watching your portfolio fall with no recourse, those days are now over. There's money to be made as we speak, not tomorrow, not next week, now. You will get all the details in this report.
Plus, I understand you have some bonus material in your report as well. For example, you also reveal your secret to risk management. I think folks are really going to like this. Risk management is one of your specialties. With your option strategy, the risk is limited to the amount paid for the options contract. So if someone only put up a few $100s, that's all they can lose. And what's more, during your time on Wall Street, you went 13 years with a maximum monthly loss of just 3.5%. Folks, that's unheard of. Really, this year alone, the entire market has posted bigger monthly losses multiple times. How were you able to protect your clients' money so well?
Well, when you're managing millions of dollars, you can't afford to take huge losses. If the fund was down only 1%, I'd get calls from my investors.
Oh, I'll bet, right. A 1% loss to a billionaire is a huge number.
That's why risk management became an obsession of mine. I've learned to spot danger signs early just from reading the ticker tape. I will share my approach in this report.
Now that reminds me of a quote in Market Wizards. One of your former interns said, "The things Benedict does mentally, other people need computers to do." I don't know many computer programs that can match Larry when it comes to protecting wealth. You're going to want to learn his secret, folks. Plus, Larry's report also explains how to know when to sell, why you should never risk more than you can afford to lose, and how to manage the inherent risks that come from options, why his strategy works in bull and bear markets, and much, much more. That reminds me, Larry, we've talked so much about bear markets. What if the market takes off? Is that going to mess things up for us?
Not at all. You mentioned my 20-year run on Wall Street. That's included bull and bear markets.
Oh, wow. We're looking at what happened to the market during your 20-year run. We had raging bull markets, historic crashes, and everything in between. You really were able to make money in every market.
That's the beauty of this approach. It's nimble. You can react to all market conditions.
And I should also mention, you've also put together a companion report, Larry's Guide to Options. Tell us about that.
Sure. I've been trading options for more than 30 years. I've also been training and teaching people for decades. In this report, I will walk you through my unique approach.
And this is a golden opportunity, folks. You get to learn how to trade from a market wizard. This is like learning how to play baseball from a Hall of Famer. Larry walks you through the entire process, how to buy, how to sell, how to create an account if need be, and most importantly, his specific methods for trading options.
That's right. Like I said, anybody can get started trading options. It doesn't take a PhD in finance. It's all a myth. You can access them through just about any brokerage account.
And if you've never traded options before, it's very easy to get approved. It's usually a matter of filling out a short one-page form, isn't that right?
That's right. In the report, I will show you how to trade them right away.
Oh, very good. Okay, so with these two special reports, you have everything you need to start using Larry's one-ticker retirement plan. But that's just the beginning of the help Larry's willing to offer you. He's saved his biggest bonus for last. Can you tell everyone about it?
Sure. Listen, I know what I'm telling you is probably new. Most so-called experts all say the same thing. Bear markets are inevitable. You can't avoid them. The best you can do is ride them out and hope for the best. That is all garbage. You don't have to suffer through years of losses. It is possible to make money in all markets, and I want to prove it to you. To that end, I am launching a weekly research service, and right now you can join for a special discount.
Ooh. What's it called?
One Ticker Trader. It is designed to show you how to use my strategy to make all the money you need no matter what happens in the markets.
Larry, this is one of the most unique research services I've ever heard of. Let me see if I understand how it works. You'll zero in on a single ticker. You'll issue a series of trade recommendations, each with the potential to double or more in a short amount of time. Then at some point, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, whenever the window closes, you'll move to a new ticker, and then you'll do the same thing all over again.
Exactly right. The aim is to help you get maximum profits using one ticker at a time. I will issue a new recommendation around once a week, along with a full analysis.
You'll do this week after week, month after month for the next year.
Yes, and I will provide you updates as needed.
Okay, so you'll issue both buy and sell recommendations?
Yes, both.
Well, obviously, past performance doesn't guarantee future returns, and all investing involves risk. That said, if this research service works out like Larry's more advanced ones, let alone his hedge fund, you could see some extraordinary results. His hedge fund returned $274 million for his clients. It was one of the best in the entire world. What's more, since he started sharing a targeted approach with everyday folks, they've crushed the market. While just about everybody's been losing money, they've had the chance to make money nearly every week. There's no better endorsement than that.
This is one of my favorite ways to trade, and it is ideal for this market.
Now, folks, you're among the first to receive an invitation to join this research service. As such, Larry's put together a very special deal for you, his best yet. You see, people from all across the globe read Larry's work, and they're happily paying thousands of dollars a year to do so. What's more, when he ran his hedge fund, you couldn't get access to his ideas unless you had a minimum account of $1 million. It was for multimillionaires and billionaires only. However, 1 full year of One Ticker Trader retails for just $199.
And I've arranged an even better price, Kim.
Oh, really?
Look, a lot of people are struggling right now. Food, gas, and the price of everything is soaring at the same time that returns are falling. I believe my research can help a wide range of folks. I don't want price to be an issue. If you join right now, you can get started for a fraction of the retail price.
Am I reading this right, Larry? Just $19?
You're reading this right, Kim.
Wow. Remember, folks, we're talking about a man who ran money for the crown prince of one of the largest oil-producing countries in the Middle East, and who, according to Barron's, is one of the top moneymakers in the entire world. To access an entire year of his ideas for such a low price, that's a steal.
There's only one catch, Kim. I can't guarantee the price will be available for long. It's a special limited time deal. My publisher reserves the right to raise the price at any time without notice.
Of course. So please don't wait, folks. You should see a Join Now button on your screen. Go ahead and click that now. Here's a recap of everything you'll get when you subscribe. 1 full year of One Ticker Trader. As a new subscriber, you'll receive Larry's latest research and recommendations immediately. Then, around once a week, you'll receive his next recommendation.
That's right. Now keep in mind, my goal is to find the best trade setups. These don't always happen on a set schedule. Some weeks you may get 2 recommendations, other weeks you may get none. But either way, the goal of each one is to give you the chance to have a sizable windfall.
You'll also get Larry's special report, the One Ticker Retirement Plan, and Larry's bonus report, Larry's Guide to Options. Like I said, these reports are not available anywhere else. The only way you can get them at this price is through this special offer. Plus, you're also protected by Larry's 60-day money-back guarantee. If for some reason Larry's research is not for you, that's okay. Just call his customer service team within the next 60 days, and they'll give you a full refund of the subscription fee.
And to make it fairer than fair, I will let you keep my special research reports, no questions asked.
Well, it doesn't get more fair than that, folks. Just Larry's research is not for you, that's okay. Just call his customer service team within the next 60 days, and they'll give you a full refund of the subscription fee.
And to make it fairer than fair, I will let you keep my special research reports, no questions asked.
Well, it doesn't get more fair than that, folks. Just Larry's research is not for you, that's okay. Just call his customer service team within the next 60 days, and they'll give you a full refund of the subscription fee.
And to make it fairer than fair, I will let you keep my special research reports, no questions asked.
Well, it doesn't get more fair than that, folks. Just Larry's research is not for you.